Hey everyone, this is 8-Bit Flashback, and we got another version of Hakchi out. They just keep rolling out. This is version 2.21c. And as always guys, when you're modding your console, there's always a chance you can brick it, so proceed at your own risk. I'd also like to add that if you have Hakchi up and running, and you like the way it works, then there's really no reason to update. Just stick with what you got. Or if you had a lot of complications installing Hakchi in the first place and you don't quite understand it yet, you should hold off. I would not mess with updates yet. I would recommend that you get a better understanding of how Hakchi works. Just get to a point where you can open up Hakchi, change some of the settings, add some games, then go turn on your Super Nintendo, and everything works. And this will save you a lot of headache. If you just keep jumping into things and modding things and updating things and you don't understand it, then you're going to get lost. That's just my opinion. But if you want to do it, by all means, go for it. So this tutorial is going to be for how to upgrade from your current version of Hakchi, 2.20 or higher, to the newest version of Hakchi, whatever that may be. So this is 2.21c, this just came out today, and there's only a couple minor updates, but one of the coolest things is that the scripts auto-update and it says you don't need to reflash your custom kernel after every update. So if this works like it's supposed to, if you have 2.21c or higher, then it's automatically going to update every time there's a new release. I'm a little skeptical of how well this is going to work, but I guess we're going to find out. So if we scroll down, we'll find the download link, and we're going to download the Hakchi 2.21c zip. So I'm going to go ahead and download this. I'm going to save it to my desktop. Now I'm going to minimize my windows and it should be right there on my desktop. So here's my newest Hakchi, but located on my desktop I have multiple versions of Hakchi that I'm not ready to delete yet. So what we need to do is open the zip file for the newest Hakchi, and we're going to change the name of the folder. That way it doesn't conflict with my previous versions of Hakchi. So what I'm going to do is change the name of the folder from Hakchi 2 to Hakchi 2.21c, and why not? That's the actual name of it. If I don't do this, what could happen is that if I drag the Hakchi 2 folder to the desktop with another Hakchi 2 folder, the two will merge and my files will get all mixed up, and I don't want that. So after changing the name, I just drag the folder to the desktop. So as you can see here, I got three different versions of Hakchi on my desktop: 2.20, 21b, and 21c. So I'm going to open up the newest Hakchi folder, which is 2.21c, and the last version of Hakchi I used, and that's going to be 2.21b. And you want to open up whatever the last version of Hakchi that you used was. It could be 2.20. So if you installed Hakchi correctly, you should have a dump folder located inside the last version of Hakchi that you used to mod your Super Nintendo. So you want to copy that dump folder, and we're going to paste it in our new Hakchi, the 2.21c. So inside that dump folder is going to be your stock original kernel for your Super Nintendo. Now this part's optional, but it could save you a lot of time. Inside the Games Super Nintendo folder located right here is all the games that you've already uploaded to Hakchi. So if you want to just transfer those over to the new Hakchi, you can. You just copy this folder and paste it inside the new one, the 2.21c. Now I would recommend that you only transfer games over that you know are working. If you have games that aren't working, do not transfer those over. You should just re-upload those games and start over. So I personally have over 700 games I'm going to transfer over to my new Hakchi folder. Chances are you probably don't have that many. But the good thing about doing this is not only does it transfer over your games, it also transfers over your box art, so you don't have to re-download all that box art. Okay, so I've copied my dump folder and my games folder in here. Now it's time to open up our new Hakchi. So the first time you open it up, it asks you what console you have. I have the Super Nintendo Classic Mini, so that's the one I'm checking. So as it loads up, we're going to get a welcome message. And as you can see here, all my games are going to pop up in the window here. All I got to do is check the games I want when I'm ready to sync my games. So at this point, if you didn't transfer over games, you can go ahead and add your own games now. And as always, it's recommended to reset your console back to factory settings. Of course, you're going to lose your game saves. I know that's awful. There's some people out there that are saying they're not doing this step, and they're having good luck. I personally tried it, and it didn't work. I was getting errors. So if you want to try it, you're welcome to, but it's not recommended. And now since Hakchi supposedly auto-updates, we shouldn't ever have to do this step again. Let's keep our fingers crossed and hope that's true. So after it resets, I just select English, select OK. Now it's time to go back to Hakchi. So first thing we're going to do is go up to the kernel tab, and we're going to click Uninstall. Do you really want to uninstall all traces of Hakchi? Yes, I do. Kind of. I don't really want to, but I have to. Okay, so it's time to hook up our console via USB cable. Hold that reset button, push the power switch, continue to hold the reset button for about 3 to 4 seconds, let go, and it should automatically start doing its thing. So what it's going to do is it's going to reflash the console with the original kernel. So if that original kernel is not in the dump folder, this step won't work. After you're done installing, you need to power off your Super Nintendo, wait about 5 seconds, then unplug it. Now go ahead and plug it back in. Now we're going to go back up to the kernel tab, and we're going to flash custom kernel. Select yes. Now we're going to do this whole step over again. Hold that reset button, Turn the power on, hold the reset button for about 3 to 4 seconds, then let go of the reset switch, and it should automatically start flashing the new kernel. So what the process is that it automatically dumps whatever kernel is on your console and puts it in a dump folder. It's kind of an auto protection to make sure you keep your stock kernel. And sometimes when you're dumping your kernel, you get an error message that looks like this. Do not click OK unless you have a saved copy of your stock kernel saved on your computer somewhere else. That way if it overwrites it with a bad kernel, you have a backup. Now this kernel is not bad, it is okay. Just once in a while I'll get this error message. So now I'm just going to click yes, and it'll continue to flash my custom kernel. Okay, it's done. Now I can upload some games. And what it just did is it overwrote the dump file that was currently on here with the same file again, because I already had the original kernel on there. And then it also installed that custom kernel. So at this point we don't have to do anything else, we can just start adding games. But I'm going to go up to modules and install some extra space. So if we click on this, that's going to give us maybe about 30 megabytes of extra space. What it does is it moves your saved game files to a different location on the Super Nintendo. So I'm going to click OK. Now I need to power off my Super Nintendo, unplug it, and then start over with this process again. Plug it back in, hold the reset button, push power, let go of the reset button after about 4 seconds, and then it's going to upload this new module. So after installing the module, it looks like I gained maybe about 25 megabytes of memory. So it's not a big change, but if you need that extra memory, this could be for you. And also, with this new version of Hakchi, the original games only take up a half a megabyte of space. On the original version 2.20, I think they took up like 84 megabytes. So that's a huge difference. That gives you a lot more space. So with those two things combined, that gives you over 100 megabytes, and that's a pretty big difference. Now it's time to just select the games you want to add, and if you need artwork, go ahead and click on a game and Google it. Mine already all have artwork, but I'm just going to show you for an example. And it'll pull up multiple images you can select. Like I said, I already have artwork, so I'm just going to close this out. So I'm not going to mess with any other settings. I'm just going to leave them the way they are, and hit that Synchronize Selected Games button. Once your games are uploaded, make sure you wait for the red dot in the left corner there to turn green. Then go ahead and turn your Super Nintendo off, wait for it to turn red. Now go ahead and unplug it, and let's go test this thing. So it's going to boot up to the language menu. I'm going to select English, hit OK. Now I got my original 21 games here on the front, and at the end here we should have a folder that contains our new games. And there we go, there's the 19 games I just added. And if you're wanting to play games from other systems like the Nintendo 64, Game Boy, Sega Genesis, Sega Master System, etc., check out my RetroArch guide. I'll make sure to post a link down below, and it's compatible with Hakchi 2.20 and higher. Okay everyone, thanks for watching. If you like my video, please click that like button and subscribe. And if you want to see more of my videos, just click any of these links.